Singapore. Middleweight men. On lane 12 from the United States of America, Kelly Kulik. Kelly also happens to be the defending champion. Ladies, good luck.
Welcome along to the World Singles Championships 2016. It's the women's final between Hui Fen Nhu of Singapore and Kelly Kulik of the USA. Singapore to get us underway then. First frame and a strike for Hui Fen Nhu. Excellent technique and scored 2-3-8 in her semi-final where she beat Shannon Pławski of the United States. And talking of the United States, Kelly Kulik up next. Watching alongside me here is Chris Vi, also of Team USA. We'll watch this one together and then Chris can have his say. Perfect response, strike from Kulik, so a great start for both athletes, Chris.
Yes, absolutely. These two competitors have bowled extremely well all week, and it's going to be a great match to watch. Let's see how it plays out.
Great shape on that ball as well. Hook coming in, taking out the head pin and cleaning out all 10. So alternate shots, and it'll be Kulik of the USA to bowl next. Second frame in this one game match to determine who will be the world champion in 2016. Kulik, of course, the defending champion from 2016, from 2012. And let's that one go. Nip back as well. She's got her eye in early on here. Back-to-back strikes.
Very good start for her. Let's see if Hui Fen can answer.
Technically, when you look at that,
it looks very good. She's actually figured out something in the last few days. Qualifying didn't go as she had planned, but she was able to, muster enough pins to make it to the top 32. She's talked with her coach Brian O'Keefe, and they were able to figure something out, and she's bowled extremely well, so she's looking great.
Hui Fen Nhu leaves a couple standing there. The 24-year-old who picked up 30 points earlier today in the top 8, sliding close to that foul line where she has to let the ball go from. Great shots there. Danced around it, didn't it? Left the 2 remaining pins there, the 2 and the 8.
It didn't. She's also been battling a right knee injury, so she's pretty sore. So she's got it taped up now, and hopefully she can manage to bowl the entire game and not have any problems.
2-3-8 in her semi-final victory. A spare there in frame 2. So just the edge going the way of the USA at the moment after 2 frames. Great slow motion replay of those 2 pins colliding. What's going through her mind there?
She's just trying to stay focused on what she has to do. In match play, you can kind of get caught up in what the other player's doing. But if you just focus on your game and throw the best shots you can, most of the time you will come out on top. So she's just trying to stay in the moment.
Bowling in lane 11 here for the women's final. And the 7-pin left this time for Hui Fen Nhu of Singapore.
Yeah, it looked like it was a little right of her intended target. So it, just didn't come up flush to the pocket, leaving the 7-pin.
Oh dear,
Oh, wow.
Was a relatively straightforward shot, missing the 7-pin though. That's the first real error, and it goes Hui Fen Nhu's way.
Yeah, you won't see that too often watching her bowl. She's normally a very good spare shooter.
So only picking up 9 points there, 48 after 3 frames for Hui Fen Nhu. Advantage Kelly Kulik of the USA. There you go, she says as she let it go. She knew from the moment she let that go from her fingers. There, a coach as well, nodding in approval.
Yes, that's key to capitalize on, the mistake from Singapore.
Saw her Brighton early this morning. She was in the zone. It was about 6:45, 7 o'clock when she got up for breakfast. I can't remember what she had.
Yes, she is an early riser. She likes to get her day started and make sure she's ready to go by the time she needs to bowl.
Just gone 4:30 local time here in Doha. Coming to you live from the Doha Bowling Centre in Qatar. This the Women's World Singles Championship final. Kulik of the USA leaving the 10 pin this time.
Yeah, that was a very good shot. She's had some issues getting the 10 out this week. She's made some extremely good shots like that one. Just not being able to get all 10 down. It's an unfortunate break. Let's see if she can clean it up. It's
a great angle there to see the shape of the ball and
yes.
the oil and the treatment and just really how much the ball takes off every time it gets on a line towards the pins.
Yeah, this lane surface here, you can actually see the lines a little bit better than most bowling alleys. So it's definitely interesting to see, and it can help you if you come to a different lane. It can help you see where the other bowlers have thrown shots and make your adjustment.
So last time round, Hui Fen Yu missing the spare, left the 7 last time. What sort of response has she got here in the 4th frame? There's your answer.
Yeah, missed left of target on that one. Might have been a little bit of a makeup shot for the last one, and leaves the 3 pin.
Is that just a case of trying too hard? We can see the angle there really did hit the head pin, didn't come in that pocket in the side between the 1 and the 3.
Yeah, the last shot may have got her thinking a little bit of trying to make it strike instead of just making a good shot. So it seemed like she had tried to help it a little bit and missed her target to the left.
No doubt about that spare. So needs to hope for an error here from Kelly Kulik, who looks in the zone there, prepping herself for her next go. Again, lovely shot.
Yeah, these Singapore girls, they, this is pretty much what they do, day in and day out. This is, they are, very well trained, very well coached, and let's see if she can, take in some of that and make some better shots here.
10 pin left again. Encouragement coming on from the coach and also Shayna Ung, who was playing in the semi-final, lost out to Kelly Kulik. Going to be double misery for the girls from Singapore here, getting through to the final, but not quite going to plan as things stand in the 5th frame of this 10-frame final. It's going to be another spare there. That's 3 spares in a row, so known as a buzzard.
Yes, it looks like she's gonna need to start striking if she wants to catch back up to Kelly. Seems Kelly's throwing some really good shots, and see if she can stay in the zone.
So a spare in the 4th. This Kelly's first approach in the 5th frame. Yeah, you know when it's a good one.
Yes.
Shouts out, there it is.
She liked that one.
Yeah, there's those lines again as well on the oil.
Yeah, she's playing a little bit further right than Wei Fin, and actually most of the competitors this week. She tried to play a little bit farther left for the first few days, and it didn't work out for her, so she made some adjustments to her equipment and moved to the right, and it's definitely paying off.
That process there where she's just getting ready and just playing with the sack in her right hands, for our newer viewers, what's she really trying to do here as she makes her approach in the...
It just dries her hand out so she can get a little bit more comfortable feeling the bowling ball, and it's just pre-shot routine, trying to get... She misses left there, but it's just kind of a pre-shot routine to where, you know, you can do the same thing every time before each shot and just make sure you're comfortable and ready to go.
Does it as well in those long periods as well when they alternate shots. Routine not quite working out as she would like to have hoped there, Kelly Kulick. But still on top here in the women's final.
Yeah, not her best shot, but she was able to, you know, leave a very makeable spare here.
And there she goes, picks up the spare. So that's 6 frames done and dusted. 119 after 5 frames with the spare in the 6th. And a spare in the 5th for Hui Fen Yu, who was 67 after 4 frames. Really need to strike here. That's the one.
Very good break there. Has a little left of her target again, but was able to be fortunate enough to trip the 4-pin. See the relief on her face.
I think it was a sigh of relief, I was going to say. A confirmation of the score for Hui Fen Yu so far. Only 2 strikes in her 6 frames so far. There's a teammate just over her shoulder. Shayna Ung just watching on. There, her opponent, Kelly Kulick.
Missed her target to the right again. And it's looks like her ball's burning up a little bit. It's seeing the friction a little too quickly and losing its energy. So I think she needs to make a little bit move to the left. Just try to keep it a little bit closer to the pocket.
That's as much disappointment as you're going to see across the face of Hui Fen Yu. A difficult spare to pick up here. Aim for the 2 pins there and gets it.
Nice.
Great shot. Shot of the game so far for Hui Fen Yu, who really needed that spare.
Yeah, as a player of her caliber and a player of, you know, these calibers, you know, out here, that is a makeable spare. You know, that's nice. It keeps her in the match, and hopefully she can make her adjustment.
Kulick then the favourite at this stage. Oh, again, the shadow. There it is. It takes about 2 seconds for the ball to go down the lane, but as soon as she let it go here, she knew it was bang on target.
Yeah, she seems to be liking the right-hand lane there, lane 12. She hasn't missed on that one yet. But see if she can make an adjustment and get all 10 down this here.
Let's look at her scorecard as well. There's 5 strikes there from the 7 frames played so far, 10 frames in total, so we're almost there. Can't let up here though. Excellent shot.
Very nice shot there. Kelly's in the zone looking to defend her 2012 win in Cyprus. Trying to be the only winner on this tournament on the girls' side, as this is only the 2nd time this tournament has been held. Could be 2 for 2.
Yeah, that's right. She's the defending women's champion. It was Chris Barnes of the USA who was the defending men's champion.
Yes, unfortunately we were not able to hold up our end of the deal this week, but Kelly's doing an amazing job.
Yeah, Chris Vi alongside me here, made it through to the final 8. Couldn't make it through to the semis and the final though. Men's final will be contested between Jesper Agabo and Rafa Ishmael. That coming up straight after this. Good strike there from Hui Fen Yu.
A much better shot. It definitely did seem that she had moved a little bit to her left and kept it a little bit closer to the pocket. So let's see if she can make the same adjustment on the left lane.
$6,000 up for grabs for the women's winner, the champion of 2016. Also $4,000 for whoever is the runner-up. And we already know our bronze medalists. They'll both take home $3,000 US prize money. Shayna Ung and Shannon Plajewski of Singapore and the USA. Felt good and looked good too.
Yeah, much better shot. Yes, that's setting her up for the 10th frame as she goes back to the right-hand lane. She can max her score out at 217 if she throws all 3 in the 10th. And Kelly, stepping up here in the 9th, still has possible 259 out there.
Yeah, back-to-back strikes in the 7th and the 8th. Coming into that 9th frame now where Hui Fen-Yu already has a strike. Her strike's coming in the 8th and 9th. So frame 9 for Kulik.
Left of her target there.
Shadowed freeze coming on from the coach there.
Yeah, that was a little left of her target. Yelling freeze to try to get it to stop in place. I wish the bowling balls listen sometimes.
Yeah, I was going to say, how often does a ball react to a comment from the coach?
Not too often, but
Funny
sometimes.
that.
Yeah, sometimes you'll be surprised. All right, difficult spare here, but makeable.
Oh, got it.
Nice.
What a great shot.
Very
well,
nice.
difficulty level was right up there.
Absolutely.
And that's why she's one of the world's best, ranked 3 in the world currently, and showing that she's still got it.
It's actually very key. If she strikes on this first ball, she would only need 1 pin in the next 2 shots. So a strike here pretty much wraps it up. So that was a very big spare.
Yeah, big moment. So Kelly Kulik with a possible 3 balls remaining. As you say, could do it with just this 1 strike. Just overcooked it again a little bit.
Effort, yeah. But okay, you know, if she picks this up, she only needs 3 pins on her fill. So this is a very straightforward spare that she shot thousands of times in her career. So just 1 more spare, and fill some frame, or fill some pins in the last shot, and she will be the champion.
So just composes herself for this penultimate delivery. Oh, just the 10 pin knocked out.
And it's also very uncommon to see Kelly miss a spare. So that leaves it up to Wei Fen Nu. She can throw the first 2 in the 10th and 9 on her fill. I'm sorry, 8 on her fill will give her the championship. So if she does not strike on either of the first 2 shots, Kelly Kulik will be your champion.
That's why you're here doing the maths here, doing it all mentally.
Yes, it helps to be around the sport. So
Chris Vye of Team USA alongside us here needs that strike to keep her chances alive. Oh no, the little wobble on the 10, so it's not going to happen.
Kelly Kulik has repeated as the world singles champion here in Doha, Qatar.
This was the moment. 10 pin didn't topple, got the angle, didn't get the good fortune of the kick. So we'll just round up proceedings here. Unfortunately, Hui Fen-Yu picks up the spare and get the extra ball as well. But is not going to go home with the gold. It's going to be a 2nd place finish at the World Singles Championships 2016.
And I'm sure Kelly is breathing a sigh of relief after that missed spare in the 10th frame. But Wei Fen-Yu has bowled extremely well all week, and it's no easy task to take away a silver medal at this tournament.
Absolutely not, and finishes with a 9. and a score of 195. Kelly Kulikgo, the 2016 champion, a score of 214 in the final. So there you go, there is your champion of 2016, defending champion from 2012, holds on to her title, and Kelly Kulik of the USA crowned champion. Take a bow, Kelly.
Reigning from 2012, Kelly Kulik from the United States.
How do you assess that as a game then? A bit of fortune there towards the end.
Yeah, it was kind of an up and down match. It seemed that Kelly had it in hand the entire match, especially with the split conversion in the 9th frame. Just a little bit of a lack of concentration possibly in the 10th. But yeah, she was pretty solid for the entire game.
Well, she defeated Shayna Ung of Singapore in the semi-final, and she beat Shayna's teammate Hui Fen Nhu in the women's final this year in 2016. So Kelly Kulik is your 2016 champion at the World Singles Championships 2016. These are some of the highlights of that final.